after my daughter passed away, they moved to Madison, New Jersey, so now I'm a resident of Madison, New Jersey. And I'm here today on behalf of my daughter, Emmarosepressconference3, who passed away almost exactly 1 year ago. Emma, in this picture, was born a seemingly perfectly healthy baby, pink as a rosebud, hence her name, Emma Rose. When she was 6 years old, she was diagnosed with a rare infantile epilepsy disorder which caused her to suffer hundreds of seizures a day. Eventually, the seizures weakened her and made it impossible for her to swallow, and she could no longer even tolerate a feeding tube. Like many of the children who suffer from epileptic seizures, the standard pharmaceutical anti-seizure drugs did not work on Emma, and it became simply a race against time. During Emma's hospital stay, we learned, my husband and I read as much as we could read, and we learned about remarkable success stories of children like Charlotte, Fiji, in Colorado, who were being treated with medicinal marijuana. We approached our doctors and we spoke about it, but the conversation ended there because it was simply illegal. No one can imagine, except for perhaps the parents in this room, what it is like to hold your baby and watch her suffer hundreds of seizures a day and be told by the best neurological doctors in the world that there is no standard treatment and that the one treatment which may or may not help your child is illegal simply because the treatment is derived from a plant which is politically unsavory. At the end of Emma's life, the seizures won the battle and her little body could no longer fight. She was born pink. This was when the first day she was admitted to the hospital. And very quickly, the seizures took hold of her. And as all of the parents know here, that the seizures destroy brain function, and she simply was not strong enough. And she could no longer swallow. And so quickly, the discussion became about palliative care. And at the end of her life, the doctors told us to take her home, and we were forced to sit days and hours watching our baby pass away from us. And there was simply nothing that we could do. And during that time, I promised Emma that her life, death, and suffering would not be in vain, and that we would do everything possible to help fight the battle for other children and their families who still cannot come home, who some of them who've left the state and can't come home for treatment. But for these children here in New York, New Jersey, and across the United States who are being denied access to a treatment that can almost immediately transform their lives and stop their seizures. In the case of our sweet baby girl, we do not know if medical marijuana would have helped her. But in so many of the cases of the children that are here today, we have every reason to believe that these children can and will be helped. Emma was alive for 74 days, and no one can know what it's like to hold your baby and watch them suffer. These parents here know. These parents struggle each and every day to care for their children, and they do not need any more obstacles in their way. This legislation is long past due. We should be pioneering studies in other contexts to see what other uses medicinal marijuana can have for others who suffer ongoing debilitating pain. No person or family should live in fear of being prosecuted by the federal government simply because they are seeking the most effective medical treatment currently available. I want to thank you. A year ago, I was in the hospital. My daughter's year anniversary was just this past week. She died March 12th of last year. And during that time, I read about these stories, and I thought, what is wrong with these people? I'm ashamed to be in this country. I'm ashamed to be part of the United States. And that we are allowing these children to die and suffer. And I want to personally thank you, Senator Booker and Senator Gillibrand, for standing with us today and for being so courageous and for supporting this monumental bipartisan legislation, which will hopefully change the world view of medicinal marijuana and forge a speedy path so that all of our children here in New York, New Jersey, and across America can get the treatment that they need.